Egg.
So I can scratch her butt.
Egg, come sit next to Eli.
Hey, come here. Eggy.
Iggy.
Little feet.
Up on the couch. There we go. I have part of my pyramid is an event that I held at my house, and let me tell you, Iggy was the star.
Obviously.
I had mad people over a couple days ago, and everyone, like, we could not stop talking about how cute the dog is. It's crazy. Oh, okay. Earlier, I was sitting at the table, and I was eating dinner, and I, like, crossed, like, one leg over the other, and as I did that, she was moving towards me to, like, beg for food, and I accidentally bonked her face, like, on my heel, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And I told it to Rachel when she got home, and Rachel said that there was one time when she had, like, had her for, like, maybe 2 years, and she went somewhere, like, to someone's house, and they had, like, wrought iron, like, cast iron furniture, like, patio furniture, and she let Iggy out one more time before she went to bed, and Iggy, like, ran out into the yard, and she said, I heard her running, then I heard her go, thunk, and she had, like, run up against, like, a chair because she couldn't see it in the night, and she's like, are you okay? And she's like, I think that day changed her. Like, I think that day is why she is the way that she is.
That's awesome.
So she'll be back. Rachel's outside, and so Iggy's going to stand at the door very anxiously and give off weird vibes. Rachel said there's an episode of one of the Star Trek franchises that's called Strange Energy, and she's like, that's Iggy's the star. It's just strange energy, weird vibes, always. But she's here this week, which is very exciting.
I need to clap.
No, I did it earlier. It's okay.
I wasn't listening.
It's okay. You were preoccupied with the dog, and I was like, I need to make sure we sync up really quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it is very helpful.
You said the word party earlier before we started recording, and it reminded me that I saw there's like a trucking company called Delano.
And you were like,
I was like,
party.
Hey, party.
Party. Party.
Yeah.
Think about it all the time. Okay, are you ready to do the theme song?
This is the fastest we've gotten to the...
Well, do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't either. Everything else I want to talk about is in connection to my pyramids. So
let's go.
Welcome back to the Pyramid Guys, Gals, and Non-Binary Pals. My name is Amanda, and I am specifically your host and nobody else's host every single MFing week, except for the weeks that I'm fucking not. How dare you ask me to do it on the weeks that I'm not? That's actually super crazy.
Did you just tell me you hosted people here the other night, so you are other people's host?
No.
I never
said that. I said I had people over. But the top of... Anyway, it
yeah,
doesn't matter. Who the fuck are you anyway? Damn.
The devil's advocate, apparently.
Oh my god, that's so
Eli,
true.
the dipshit participation trophy of co-hosts.
Sound it
on
out.
this here podcast. I'm out of my rhythm, and so I just forgot what words are.
Yeah, it's tough.
I was over here talking. I can't talk shit and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Are you chewing gum right now?
No, I was doing the...
I was going to say, that's so unprofessional.
I was just doing
That's so
the
gross.
fucking...
You can't even walk and chew gum at the same time.
We need to start over. And
yeah.
Action.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, I was just kidding.
You're so off kilter, bro. Is it because of your fuck-ass AC?
It's because of so many things, Amanda.
Do you want to talk about any of them or none of them?
Nope.
Okay, that is totally fair. Do you want to talk about your pyramid of life?
I would love to.
Okay,
I
great.
think I just hit the microphone. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
So the bottom of my pyramid is for our drum corps girlies out there. There has been a bit of buzz in the community the last week or however long. Carolina Crown, who is one of the premier drum corps, put out this post, this call. So let me back up even further. Right now, there's a lot of auditions going on. Hey, we still have some spots available in our corps. Blah blah. Yeah, there's spring workouts, and then they'll do move-ins in May, I think. Anyway, so there's this last scramble for more members to fill out your corps and make sure you're ready for the competitive season.
Isn't that what workouts are for?
To fill out.
Fill out your corps.
That's good. That's good. I like that. But no, some people want to trim away their corps.
I shouldn't have said anything.
I should have just let you have it.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe
anyway,
just one time.
I still really like that joke. Your heart's in the right place.
Thank you.
So
not in my core.
Carolina, yeah, I hope not. Carolina Crown put out a post recently saying, "Hey, we need prop moving volunteers. Every corps, most corps have a lot of props that go on the field, and they're we need a crew of folks, a crew of volunteers to help us get these props on and off the field, maybe even help construct them, blah, blah, blah. Like that's, and hey, this is an opportunity, like you get to hang out with like one of the top tier drum corps
sure.
and like learn and blah, blah. So if you didn't make any other corps, like, hey, come be with us, come volunteer for the summer, blah, blah, blah. And I opened up the comments on this. I was sent this post by either Patrick or Colin, and they were like, this is crazy. And I was like, what's wrong with that? And then I opened up the post and I followed the link. Apparently, it is not a volunteer position. They are charging the volunteers $1,750 to cover like membership costs, travel costs, food costs, things like that. So not only are you not getting to march, but you're paying almost $2,000 for the summer to move props around.
That's dog shit.
It is dog shit. So this is very boomer of me. But I remember back in my day when like I was of age to be like auditioning to March Drum Corps, the fees for the summer, we were like, these are insane when they got to be like $1,500.
Sure.
Or whatever. Now you're paying to not march. You're moving props on and off the field for almost $2,000. And so anyway, I open up the comments on the post and they're getting Carolina Crown is getting fucking more like Carolina Clown. Am I right?
Yeah. Carolina
Clown on by every single.
As they should. That's bullshit.
They're like,
what the fuck?
I marched Crown for 3 years. This is embarrassing. This is insulting. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's super rude.
And then in a bunch of comments, other folks were like, "Hey, go march like an open class corps or something. Like you don't have to be a part of
you
top
don't need to
12
reduce yourself to
get
this.
to get a legitimate drum corps experience. Go march an open class or a DCA line or something. Have a wonderful experience. Get a lot of practice, and then re-audition for a top 12 corps or whatever later on. And finally, Carolina Crown got bullied into taking it down and saying we're going to reevaluate our
you
blah,
should.
blah, blah.
That's fucking embarrassing.
Yep. And apparently the head person of Crown didn't even consult with a lot of the staff. They found out seeing the post.
That's so stupid.
And they're all just like, this is so crazily
so
embarrassing. Yeah.
It's like when people, like when artists have like tours and they don't sell enough tickets and so they jack up the meet and greet prices. And it's like, so you're going to charge your top people more money to be a fan? That's dog shit. Just because you can't meet your numbers doesn't mean you should make the barrier to entry harder by charging people. You're looking for people, so it should be free.
Yeah.
Because the barrier to entry will be lower.
Or
That's
cheaper.
So dumb. Also, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know what the going rate for like a member fee for a person who's marching is.
$5,000 plus.
And what are they charging their volunteers?
$1,750.
There's no fucking way that that per seat it costs that money for someone who's moving props. There's just no way. Like, I don't know if I believe
it's
that.
It's housing, food, but yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
It's insane. And the drum corps
$5,000 is also crazy.
Yeah,
like,
the drum
I
corps,
get it, but like, damn.
drum corps price. There's reaching.
That's so much money.
It's about to reach a critical mass where like it's inaccessible to almost everyone.
Yeah.
And like that, you're basically shutting so much of the population out of your activity by charging that much money. And this like drum corps for all is this big thing. It's supposed to be accessible to everyone. You're making it so like you can't even volunteer for free. Like that's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane. So Carolina, good for them for taking it down, but they only did it because they got fucking clowned on by the entire community. Yeah, they got bullied into
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So fuck you, Carolina Crown.
Yikes.
Santa Clara Vanguard's always better anyway.
Damn. There's a Phantom Regiment show that I think about all the time that was about I don't remember what it was about, but there was one where everyone in the Corps was spinning a rifle. And we saw it at DCI when I was in high school, because that was how we ended band camp every year, was going to DCI.
Same.
And it was awesome.
Oh, which show was that? I don't remember.
I think it was called This Is My Rifle. And it was
sure
like
that wasn't Cavaliers?
No, I remember. Well, actually, no, I'm not sure. I thought it was Phantom, but I could be wrong.
I think that's Cavaliers.
But it was like, there are many like it, but this one is mine.
That's
and they
Cavaliers.
all started spinning rifle.
Yeah.
I saw that show.
I remember seeing that show too.
10 years ago, 12 years ago. I think about it all the time. I thought about it yesterday morning. I was like, I remember this show that I saw one time at DCI, and it was so cool.
Cavies have had some good
It
ones.
was great. The bottom of my pyramid is when you have a nightmare that is so realistic that you wake up thinking that it happened. You know what I mean? Like, I had a dream a couple nights ago that my sister was dying, and I woke up feeling like, and I remember thinking in my dream, I don't think this is real. I think I'm dreaming. And then something in the dream, whatever it was, like, proved that I wasn't dreaming.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, someone said, like, no, you're not dreaming. This is real. And then I woke up from the... do you know what I'm talking about? Or is this just, like, an anxious person thing?
I have had, a similar experience where it, like, takes me a couple seconds to, like, get out of the dream panic or whatever. I will say I don't have dreams very often. Too many concussions.
Yeah. I texted my sister about it, and I said, I had a dream last night that you had stage 4 brain cancer and were dying by the end of the week. And she said, LOL, no. Thank you. And then I said, and I was the only person in the dream sad about it. And when I was talking to you about how no one else was freaking out like I was, you said, well, I was actually supposed to die 2 weeks ago, but I haven't yet. And then Neely said, wow, that is a very realistic dream because that is definitely something I would say. And I said, well, right. Like,
hanging out on borrowed time, dog.
Yeah, well, actually, your dumbass doesn't even know I was supposed to die 2 weeks ago, and I haven't, so you bitches are
You're
mad.
not even in the know.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the bottom of my pyramid. I've had a couple of different dreams like that in recent history that have been born out of anxiety. Like, that's literally all that is. It's just, like, worst case scenario, not sleeping for 3 hours because I'm in the REM cycle too much. And it fucking sucks. To wake up and your nervous system is activated from sleeping, not fun. You know what I mean? That's supposed to be the time where I'm not activated in anything. I'm supposed to be sleeping. And I wake up ready to fight a tiger, and I hate it. It sucks. What's the middle of your pyramid, bruh?
The middle of my pyramid is actively ongoing, actually. So I finally took my car to get, like, my registration the other day.
Yeah.
And I'm well overdue for doing that. I bought this car.
I have a story to tell you after you're in the middle of the pyramid.
I bought this car back at the end of November, and I've just really been dragging my feet on getting it registered. Whatever. And so I went to do it, and I stupidly hadn't even gotten the title from the dealership. And so they're like, all right, you need to go get that. And I was like, okay. So I went back to the dealership, got the
That's
actual...
how they know you own the car.
I have the bill of sale, and there was, like, the temporary registration where they tore out the temporary tag and stuff.
Did they not mail you the title automatically?
No.
Weird.
It's a small dealership.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that in a second. So I went and got the title, whatever. I went back to the county clerk, and they're like, yeah, so we have your, like, plate and everything, but there's a discrepancy here. The mileage that's listed on the bill of sale, for the sake of round numbers, is 102,000. Okay. For the sake of round numbers. The one on the title says 107. Oh my god. What that means, if it was more, it wouldn't be an issue.
Right.
If the bill of sale said more, it wouldn't be an issue. What this means is the mileage is whatever the odometer read when this dealership acquired the vehicle.
Oh, okay.
And then they sold it to me with 5,000-ish fewer miles on it.
On the odometer.
Right. What does that mean to you?
I don't know.
That means they probably fucked with the odometer.
Oh, no.
And so if they fucked with the odometer, not only can they now sell the car for more because it was listed with fewer miles on it, but also what else might they have fucked with?
Yeah. Can you do a DNA test or something on your car to see how, like, for real, how many miles are on it? Or no?
So no.
There's just no way to know.
No, there's not. And so I said to the county clerk, he was like, you need to go back and before we actually give you, like, the plate and everything, you need to go check on this. Yeah. Because maybe it was a clerical error. Sure. But also, there's a chance that they, like, mess with the odometer, and that's, not fraud.
Good. Yeah.
And so I went back, and I was like, hi, this doesn't make sense. Explain it. Mm-hmm. And the guy's like, it seems like it was just a typo. I'm like, it was 102,400 is what you put on the bill of sale. It's like 107,643 or something, like very different.
Specific,
it's not if it was one digit difference, fine, that's a typo. But this is so far off and looks completely made up.
Right.
Like you were like, hey, let's take 5,000 off, but let's add the 400 just to make it look a little different or whatever.
Copy my homework, but make it look a little different.
Exactly. Yeah. And so this is all very bad, obviously, potentially very bad.
Right.
And so I told the guy, I was like, listen, I want to see the bill of sale from when you acquired the car, because if that matches what's on this title, I'm quoting verbatim. I said, if that matches what's on the title, that means that you messed with the odometer and we're going to have a fucking problem.
Oh my God.
And
I would have started crying.
And he looked very scared. And so that's why this is the middle of my pyramid, because all this has been terrible, but I gotta be honest with you, having that much physical
Oh
power
my
over
God.
another man, I gotta tell you,
Did you get bricked up?
I felt like there was lightning in my veins.
You had a semi.
He was so fucking scared.
And that was a little bit period. It was striking fear into the heart of a man.
Yes.
Well,
Amanda?
it would be the top of my pyramid
Right.
if that were me, so I'm
right.
not going to shit on it too
So
much.
dealing with all this nonsense is one thing. I haven't been in a fight in a long time, since like college.
Yeah.
But right here, I was like, I could crack this man in half like a fucking walnut.
Jesus Christ.
He probably, we don't know for sure, but he probably sold me a car that he was lying about. I was
Sure.
defrauded by this fucking dealership.
Did you get did you get it sorted out or no?
This was yesterday, and there too many things happened at work today that I couldn't get over there. But I'm going back tomorrow, so
to be like,
we'll
"Hey
have a
guys,
thrilling
it's me
conclusion.
again."
Yeah, we'll have a thrilling conclusion to this story soon.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The middle of my pyramid. Oh, the middle of my pyramid is a book that I listened to. Hot take. I know you're going to disagree with me about this, and that's okay. We don't have to agree on everything for our friendship to still be valid.
Are you telling me that, or are you telling yourself
I'm telling
that?
myself
I
that.
know that.
I don't want to argue with you about really anything, but specifically
Yes,
this.
you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
But you might just started crying right now. I personally, like when I think about my reading goal this year, my goal is to read 50 books in the year 2025 because I think I read 30 last year, and I was like, I could do way better than that.
Sure.
And when I listen to an audiobook, to me in my personal life and my personal goal, it does go towards my reading goal.
I would agree.
Do you think listening to an audiobook counts as reading?
I wouldn't say that you're like
My
if you were to
heart's beating
say
so fast.
if you were to say like I read this book. Well, no, you didn't, but you still like ingested the book. That would count as a reading
I
goal
still
to me.
dedicated 11 hours to this book.
Yes.
Auditorily or visually.
You took in the book, you
know?
internalized the book, and that 100% counts to any reading goals you have. That's
Okay.
great. But I'm just saying, like from a cognitive perspective, just like the purity of reading, like in
Sure.
internalizing words with your eyes and having to like understand them and comprehend them is so different than having someone talk
It is a very
to you.
different experience.
That's
yeah.
all. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I'm just saying for like a book purist or whatever, you can't say I read this book. No, you didn't. You didn't read it. However, you did take on that book. It is now in your brain.
Yeah.
You like that goes towards your reading goal. Your reading goal is to take on that many books in a year, and
Yeah.
you did it.
Thank
100%.
you. I listened to a book that's called I'll Be Gone in the Dark by
I know that book.
Michelle McNamara.
That's Patton Oswalt's wife.
Yes, was Patton Oswalt's wife. She has
right.
since passed away.
She's passed away.
What? Okay, sure.
Passed on Oswald. Nailed it.
Okay, great. She wrote. So when she met Patton Oswalt, she was like a journalist before she met him, and then she saw him do stand up, and she made a pass at him after one of his shows.
He's so funny.
He's so fucking
so
funny.
funny.
And based on like her recollection of how their like relationship developed over time, oh my god, I listened to her talk about him, and it like made me like legitimately emotional. She was like, not only is he funny, but I've never been tired of him. She's like, I've known him for how many years? I have never been tired. She said, I've grown tired of the parties. I've grown tired of the celebrity. I've grown tired of the premieres. I've grown tired of the pictures. I have never grown tired of Patton.
That's awesome.
It's like so like very emotional. So yeah, so not only is Patton Oswalt very funny, he is also just like a great person.
Yeah.
And when they got married, she didn't have to work, and one of her passions in life was true crime.
Yeah.
And she had said that when she was a child, like growing up, her next door neighbor was murdered, and it was an unsolved case. And
That's
like
wild.
she was a woman, and nobody gave a shit that she got murked, and that was just kind of it. And so she was like, from that point on, she said that when she was like 14 when her next door neighbor got murdered, and they did like a thing about it, like the news did a thing in front of her house, and after the news cameras left, Michelle like picked up the broken pieces of the girl's Walkman because she was like, trigger warning for some violence, but she was like beaten like in the street and
Jesus.
then shot later. And Michelle at the beginning of the book talks about how the broken pieces of her neighbor's Walkman rattle around in her head. She's like, I think about it all the time, and it like keeps me up at night.
I bet.
So anyway, when she and Patton got married, she had a lot of time. She had a lot of time to dedicate to this like journalistic passion of true crime.
Sure.
And Michelle McNamara, I'm sorry, the LAPD, you can fight me. I don't give a fuck. Y'all are racist bags of shit anyway. I don't care. The OC, all y'all. Michelle McNamara helped to catch the Golden State Killer.
Correct.
She wrote this book called All Be Gone in the Dark that's about geographic profiling. It's about the links between two cells of crime that happened, crimes at first against women, and then police departments were telling people, don't worry, women just need to be with, the person in your area has never been in a house where there's been a man. He doesn't inflict violence against men. It's just violence against women. And then he started killing men. So it was one, and then it switched to something else. But it's two cells of crime that Michelle McNamara linked and was like, I think these two things are the same person. But with the jurisdiction and the way that things are in California, and especially because it was the 70s, like, people just weren't really drawing those lines.
Yeah.
But she speculated that they were the same person, and in this book, she lays out this proof why she thinks they are the same person. And then at the end of the book, the book ends with it being unsolved, but the book also, like, 3/4 of the way through denotes that Michelle died before the book was published because the case of the Golden State Killer, like, kept her up so much that she took fentanyl and something else. She was like had a drug problem and she OD'd and she died. And so like by association, the Golden State Killer also killed Michelle McNamara, which is like very sad.
Right.
But because of her theories and because of her like public heat on the case, a couple years after she died, the Golden State Killer was caught.
Yeah.
And they put that bitch in jail.
That's
and
so
they
sick.
got him for violence against women, sexual violence of over 50 women and killing like 15 people in California in the 70s. And they got his ass. And at the end of the book, she has, or whoever came up with like the publishing structure of her book, found a letter that she wrote that's called Letter to an Old Man. It's her talking to the Golden State Killer, and they put it at the end of the book. And I'm not going to read the whole thing because it is pretty long, but it's free on the New Yorker's website. They published it in memoriam for her. You should go read it. It's fucking awesome. But the end of it is like this. It's like, oh my god, it's so cool. So the end of Letter to an Old Man says, one day soon, you'll hear a car pull up to your curb, an engine cut out. You'll hear footsteps coming up your front walk, like they did for Edward Wayne Edwards 29 years after he killed Timothy Hack and Kelly Drew in Sullivan, Wisconsin. Like they did for Kenneth Lee Hicks 30 years after he killed Lori Billingsley in Aloha, Oregon. The doorbell rings. No side gates are left open, because he used to do that. You are long past leaping over a fence. Take one of your hyper-gulping breaths. Clench your teeth. Inch timidly toward the insistent doorbell. This is how it ends for you.
Shit.
You threatened a victim once. You'll be silent forever, and I'll be gone in the dark. You open that door, show us your face, walk into the light, and that's how the book ends. And
Crazy.
There's an appendix at the end talking about how they caught the bitch. It's awesome. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. And it makes me really emotional. It was just like such a good, well-told story. Patton Oswalt has an afterword in the book about his wife. And like, it's so good. It's so fucking sad, which is why it's the middle of my pyramid.
I was going to ask.
The content is brutal. If you are a person who's been around DV, probably not it. Or SA, probably not it, because it is the first like half of the book is just detailing crimes. And it's tough. Like, this man was insane and obviously very scary. Literally a killer. And it's sad that she died and did not live to see him get caught. And that she died because of this case. She had a kid with Patton. And, like, that girl now doesn't have a mom. Like, that kind of thing. But the book is so good. And they caught him. And they wheeled that stupid-ass bitch into a courtroom. And he's, like, decrepit. He apologizes to the victims and their families. Nobody gives two flying fucks, and they gave him like 1 million life sentences. Which, as a side note, as a person who pays attention to like crime, it's not crime, but like, you know what I mean. My favorite thing ever is when a gross man gets caught for his crimes and they give him multiple life sentences. Like Keith Raniere is currently serving 3 life sentences, which is just awesome because like just in case you cheat death, you're still in jail, and in case you cheat death twice. Your ass is still in prison. Like, I just love that. I think that's so funny. So, anyway, that's the middle of my pyramid. I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. If you can stomach it, it is a really, really good read, in my opinion.
Very good.
What's the top of your pyramid, bruh?
Are you ready to roll your eyes like crazy?
I do every time you're here, so yeah.
Okay. Well, the top of my pyramid
Gross.
is
I'm already mad. What?
the top of my pyramid is being hit on. It is so cool.
I'm gonna jump.
Do
I'm
it.
gonna jump from a high place. Oh, go ahead. Get it over with.
That's really it. Like, it is, like, the fact... So, you know that I don't like going up to people and hitting on them.
Right.
I think it's terrifying. I think it's terrifying for a lot of people. But the fact that someone would walk up to you and be like, hey, I think you're really good looking. Hey, XYZ compliment. Hey, we should do something sometime. Whatever. That is so awesome. It is so rare.
What a
I will
fun
say
experience
this.
It must be to be a man.
I will say this. It is incredibly rare. I want to make that very clear. I'm not just fighting off people left and right. I'm not. But the rare occasion that I get like straight up hit on is fucking awesome. So there you go.
Gross.
It is very cool.
The top of my pyramid is I had people over. I had exclusively girlies and also Austin, who is an honorary girly, over a couple nights ago to read. And it was a really great time, and everybody just sat and had books. And it was also fun because it was different. It was people from different walks of my life. So, like, my sister was here. Some of my friends from work were here. Some of my friends that I met not at work in different areas were here. And I, like, made snacks for people. People brought wine. Excuse me. And everybody brought a book. And after the first, like, 20 minutes of, like, oh, hi, like, it's nice to meet you. Like, I had talked to my sister... or talked about my sister to people who were there, and one of my friends is a litigator, and I was like, oh, this is my sister, she's also a litigator, like, oh, you know, like that kind of thing. And
Do you
after
think when they leave, they say, see you later?
Litigator? They should, if they don't. Patrick, you can use that one for free. Yeah, and we just, like, sat in silence. Well, not total silence. I did have a little bit of lo-fi music going in the background, and I had, like, something on my TV as, like, a screensaver, just so that it wasn't, like, completely like the library. And yeah, it was really fun.
That is fun.
And it was also cool because every single person I invited showed up.
That's
and
cool.
A couple people, or no, one person brought someone with them. So there was no like, oh, this is like a weird thing that like this person I don't really care about is doing. It was like everybody who I asked to come was like, sure. And everybody showed up and everybody got along really well. I love when people from different walks of my life get along with one another. That's cool to me.
That was the top.
You know?
Yeah, that was the top of my pyramid like
that.
a while ago.
Yeah.
That, like when people from differing friend circles meet
Mm-hmm.
and like also click.
And one of the people who showed up, I have talked about, not named, but have talked about on this podcast as a person who was roommates with one of my ex-boyfriends who I really liked, and we had a really good friendship before her roommate broke up with me. And then things got weird because I let them be weird. That's very much a me thing, and I like understand that. But she was there, and then my sister was there, and after everybody left, my sister was like, who is this person who was sitting, you know, in this area with this thing on? And I was like, oh, that's this person. And she was like, oh, good. And she was like, good for you. You guys are still friends. And I was like, yes. I was like, we worked it out on the remix. Everything's fine. We're friends again. I was the only person making it weird. She, you know, and we had gotten coffee a while ago, me and this friend, and she said when she heard that her roommate, come on, Iggy.
Did you hear that, her roommate?
Iggy, come on.
No, she's not while you're here.
She doesn't want to. She's being a diva. She wants to go to her trailer and drink sparkling water. Oh, just kidding.
Come here. Come on.
Here we go. She said that when she heard that her roommate was going to break up with me, she was mad at him. She was like,
right.
Now me and things with me and Amanda are going to be weird. Like, what's wrong with you? And then she like later was like, I wonder how soon is too soon to reach out to Amanda to see if we can be friends. And then she decided not to because she wanted to make space for me to do it and allow me to be the person to reach out, which I eventually did. So anyway, it was just a moment of like, damn, all my friends are actually really cool. And I like that all my friends get along with one another independent of me. Like that, yeah. I think is a good sign that all my friends get.
That's good
along.
for like several things. That you're good at choosing friends.
Yeah.
It's good. I think it speaks well to you also. So I think it's
and like all of my friends are friendly, and none of them are like weirdos who like are cliquey and don't want to meet new people.
Yeah, why would they be?
And a lot of them are reading the same book, which was fun, and we all talked about what book we were reading, and people didn't leave until like 10:00, and we started at 7.
Nice.
So people were just hanging out, reading for a while in silence, and then also just like eating snacks and drinking wine and talking, and that was really fun too. So it was a good time. Would recommend. Okay, we have a couple of listener emails. One is really short. Let's see.
I was looking up, by the way, someone who like knows a lot about movies and loves movies is called a cinephile. So if you said like "see you later, litigator," then they could respond with whatever
After a while, cinephile.
No, but whatever the lawyer version of that is.
Oh, wait, what?
I don't know. Well, I'm just saying like it ends in file. You couldn't say cinephile because that's about movies. This would be about people of the law. And so like "see you later, litigator," and you'd say after a while, whatever it is, file.
Like if they loved France, like Francophile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is for someone who loves the law that isn't.
Nerd, probably.
Well, sure.
That's probably what it is. Egg,
no, but it has to end in file.
Oh, I don't know what that would be.
That's what I'm saying.
I have no idea. But, yes. Okay, so there's 3 emails. One of them talks about Drag Race, so we're gonna sneak it in. Okay. This first one is from...
I was about to say. Never mind.
Don't know, but her the pronouns are she, her, so slay.
Okay.
Listener pyramid, bottom of the pyramid is growing up in a conservative family and realizing it's all bullshit and that you're a liberal because it's just lots of awkward feelings there. Hey, yes. I grew up fundamentalist Christian. I get it.
Hey,
I feel you.
Hey, we love growth around here, so.
The middle is that her birthday was this weekend, and while I absolutely love my friends and they're the sweetest people to celebrate me, birthdays stress me out as a girl with social anxiety. Fair enough.
Sure.
And then the top of the pyramid is, as a current Christian, it's just nice that the season of Easter brings family together. Also see you in that space. Easter was weird as fuck for me this year, and I get it. I'm like locked in with you, bestie. You know who you are. Some more fucking crazy notes. Abby and her contract. We kind of talked about this before, but there's a bit in here that you'll know. I was like, I think I'm going to throw it. Abby had in her contract that if you won a title and then left her studio in less than a year after you won that title, you had to pay $100,000 in cash. Yeah. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Also, to keep talking about contracts, the reason that Chloe ultimately was able to leave the show was that she wouldn't sign an ALDC contract.
Spoiler alert.
Well, spoiler alert for a show that was like 10 years old. There's a Dance Moms contract made by Lifetime, and part of that contract said that they had to sign with Abby. However, the studio contract said things about them not changing hair color and other appearance factors, including not being able to gain or lose more than 10 pounds.
Woof.
As a child going through puberty.
They're children. They're just gonna get bigger.
Or smaller. When you like kind of stretch out, I mean, obviously you gain weight the older you get. Weight. But like not being able to lose pounds as your metabolism kicks in is crazy. That's nuts. You know what I mean? Like, if you got to, like,
as a kid,
16...
You're basically never going backwards.
I guess, but that's still just, like... The gaining is obviously much worse.
That is
but, like, that's
so
fucking crazy.
Wild.
Tracy and Kira 1,000% have a rough history in Arizona, especially regarding Kira's cough criminal record. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Hey, Kira, I still stand with her. I'm good with it.
It was defrauding people off of monitors off of eBay or something.
Yeah,
it wasn't that serious.
Yeah, I wanted her to like have beaten somebody up.
Yeah. People were shook about them fighting because usually the moms fight and don't bring the girls into it, but Kira was going directly after Sarah the child, so people didn't love that.
That wasn't great.
Let's see. The OG moms were often just generally pissed whenever anyone new came in, not because their daughter might be replaced, but because they got to walk in and automatically be praised by Abby. This was problematic because they'd be fucking amazing. And then Abby would be like, oh my God, you won the title. That's so great for me. But she's actually not the one who trained them. And the girls that she did train, she would tear down. Right. Additionally, these new moms and girls were piggybacking off the success of the OG moms in their show. Right.
Correct.
The episode where Christi started fighting with Melissa in her house was 100% the point where Christi was selected to be on the new team. We all know Melissa wasn't much of a fighter, so bringing in someone to encourage her to fight on the show was a choice made by the producers, and Abby had no say in that. Otherwise, Abby wouldn't have had...
This is Christi, you mean?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, Abby wouldn't have had Christi and her daughter on her team.
Yeah, no chance.
No chance. There were also significant age differences between some of the girls. I think we talked about that last week also. Eli, you saying things about fistfights between the teams got me real worried. There was some foreshadowing there. That makes me nervous. What? I didn't know that. That makes me nervous.
Oh, no. So, you said, spoiler alert, for the TV show that aired 10 whatever years ago. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, me either, actually.
I have had zero involvement with Dance Moms prior to this.
Sure.
And so, like, there still are spoilers. I like the fact that I have no idea what's going to happen. I do know JoJo Siwa is involved. That's, like, all I know.
I still haven't seen her yet. Also, she's going nuts on the internet, and I need to make sure that she's seeing a therapist.
I don't know that. She probably isn't.
Melissa, she's on Celebrity Big Brother. She's definitely seeing the opposite of a therapist, actually, being on Big Brother.
So, wait.
So, therapist starts with the letter T. So it wouldn't end with a P.
Hold on, give me a minute. Right. Go ahead.
Melissa often interrupts things that the moms say as them, or interprets, sorry, the Freudian slip. Melissa often interprets things that the moms say as them hating Maddie or the Zigglers in general. For example, the moms would point out a discrepancy between the way that Maddie was treated and Melissa would outright said, yeah, you'd probably hope
Sipperette.
Thank you. We all die in a car crash, which we talked about that one time. She was like, oh, I bet you all hope that we die.
That was crazy.
What the fuck? Nobody said that, bitch.
That was wild.
Christi eventually comes to be known as Christi on the show. I think this might have been written. This was the one that we didn't read last week. And she, even to this day, has said that she's comfortable with that name because of her strong faith. So if you're struggling with the new old Christi confusion, I believe she's fine with being called Christi.
Yeah. So what, like to punch her right in the face?
Yeah. If you... Fair enough.
I say that in my Mike Tyson voice.
Yeah. God bless Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. He got his shit rocked by Jake Paul.
He was not actually fighting.
I know, but he got his shit rocked publicity wise, and that's embarrassing.
Everyone
publicly,
knows. Everyone that knows fighting.
I don't know if the young people know.
Everyone that was if you're below a certain age, like who gives a shit what you think, right?
If you made it this far, y'all were stronger than me for real. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for writing in.
Okay, this other email says, hello, Amanda, and the jabroni you allow a spotlight. Jabroni is a great, that's slang term for
this fucking guy.
Fuck-ass man. Yeah.
Jabroni. That's Italian for this fucking guy.
This fucking guy. Christi is still a bit much this season, but I do agree with Eli about her being annoying. Yeah. Christi was being so fucking annoying this episode. She was pissing me off. We're going to get there.
I'm telling you.
But also, Abby is really hard on her and Chloe on camera and also behind the scenes. But I do believe that she's hit this point.
Yeah.
She already faced Cameron, who was brought on to face her. Chloe did. When Sophia came on, who was the best dancer in the world at the time, Chloe had to face her. Kalani was there. She had to face Chloe. So it's like this repeating cycle where Chloe is the sacrificial lamb.
Yes.
Which as a mother would be insufferable, especially when Chloe is given choreo to stack the odds against her. But also, Abby is lying about her just liking the songs that she picks for Chloe, being like, oh, it's Chloe's because I like the song.
She did only say that once, I will say.
But it was probably a lie.
It was last episode.
And why would you give it to Chloe, someone whose mother that you don't get along with? If you like a song, you would give it to a kid that you like, right?
Maybe. But she also knows that Chloe's good.
Yeah, I guess. And then she clears up the confusion about the mom with Studio Blue, the studio owner and her daughter, Cameron. They were brought in one of the weeks that the OG moms were on strike. That's how we knew them. Remember, it was like a million episodes ago, and they were like, we're not coming in. We don't want to do this. And so Abby was like, fuck you, I don't need you. And she got a new team. And that's when Cameron and her mom, Gloria, who owned Studio Blue,
I don't know that I remember that plot point exactly.
I didn't until I read that email, and I was like, this kind of makes sense.
I've just tried to block out so much of this show.
Okay, this one's too long. We're not going to have time. But the person who wrote in, I'm going to tear up a little bit. We have a listener who wrote in who did a fashion show.
Oh.
And there's a lot in here about, there's a lot of, drag, isms in this email. It makes me really fucking happy. You know exactly who you are. You look iconic. You look so fucking good. Oh my God, you look awesome. Anyway, we're going to read that email next week.
Okay, well, I have something, speaking of people that have written in. One of our all-time top listeners told me, she was the one who is like super cool and is an artist.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't know if I can share.
Yeah.
She wrote and she's like, if you feel so inclined, you may share the Instagram.
Oh, we're inclined, bitch.
I will direct everyone to follow Cynthia Santos on Instagram. She is at CYNNO. That is CYNNO. Cynthia Santos. She is a ridiculously cool, like, very
oh my God.
talented,
She listens to us?
yes. But she is a very talented artist. Y'all should go check her out. She also just seems like a very cool person.
She's followed by Tess Holiday.
I don't know who that is.
She's a model. That's awesome. That's really, really cool.
She is an incredibly cool person.
Co-founder of Chalk and Brush.
Yeah, she has like written in. She has listened since like the fucking beginning. She's one of the first people to cyberbully me. Actually, might have been the first. Now that I think about it, she was easily one of the first to cyberbully me. So Cynthia Santos is a fucking real one, dude. She's awesome.
I cannot believe
she's awesome.
That's awesome. That's super, super cool. Okay. Are you ready to talk about the content of this week's episode?
You bet your bottom dollar I am.
Slay. This week we're talking about season 4, episode 25, Chloe Gets Revenge. Also, aka known as No She Fucking Doesn't. Also, aka known as Christi's a fucking idiot, and I'm getting really tired of her bullshit. Here we go. Previously on. Abby says she's not going to let up on the girls until they are all that she knows that they can be. Great. Oh, I have to burp really bad.
You know what? What do you want for dinner? I
don't fucking know. I'm thinking about the episode. I'm not thinking about dinner.
I'm so hungry.
Do you want to pause and get a snack, dear?
No.
Okay,
I want to save up for dinner.
10 minutes until the timer goes off, so I have to restart the camera.
Well, I don't want a snack.
If you want a snack, then I can give you a snack when the camera goes off.
I don't want a snack.
You think about what you want for dinner. I don't care. Okay. Previously on. Abby says she's not going to let up on the girls until she knows that they're everything that she knows that they can be. We get flashbacks of the moms from some of the other like moments in time. Studio Blue specifically. Jade's mom is potentially from last week was like Lori was like, I don't know if I stand by the decision to send Jade to Abby, and like maybe she wins at my studio and she got second place with you. You're dumbass, whatever.
Yeah.
And then also nationals are coming up. So, I feel like Nationals last season, we talked about them for like 6 months. Do you remember that?
Not 6 months, but it was...
It was like, Nationals
it might have been
are coming
6
up.
episodes, though.
I'm like, we fucking get it. Nationals are coming up. This week, we're in Pennsylvania. The old team is back. The old new team. So, the team that we thought was gone
the select
is back.
team.
Yeah. The new old team.
No, just call them the new team.
Is back. And then the old team is also still here. Yeah, I stand by that. Abby in her talking head is talking about how she's thinking about who's going to do what at Nationals, and she like needs to know what's going down, and she's like spilling the tea with the moms about Christi and like whatever.
Yeah, she's like, I kicked her out for calling me garbage. And then she yeah, I mean.
Hello.
She was then like, the team got second with Jade, so she's gone. Or whatever.
I killed her.
Yeah.
She's on the old team. They're on the OG
But she's like, she's on thin ice or whatever
she
says.
The new moms say that they miss Lori. The new moms say that they miss Lori and Jade. And Lori in her talking head is like, everybody's jealous of my boogie and everybody wants Jade on their team.
Well, she also says, I'm happy to be with either team.
Yeah, she's like, I don't really have an allegiance. I've known them the same amount of time.
Yeah, she's like,
I don't really care.
She's like, I like both of them. There's talented girls on both teams. Like, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Great attitude to have, honestly.
Honestly, yeah. It will go away, but as of right now, it's a great attitude. The Pyramid of Children. The worst child is Mackenzie. And Abby says that because she wasn't in the number, they competed with the teens, and that's why they flopped.
Do you want to know why Mackenzie wasn't in the number? Abby, it's because you told her to not be.
Right.
They were in the teen category because you took Mackenzie out of the dance because she was shy. Because, she's 9.
Yeah. She just kind of had a moment of panic.
Yeah.
When she was asked to improv her greatest fear, as she's a single-digit aged child. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chloe's next. She got 6th overall. That's pretty bad. Nia is next, and Abby says she was just a little bit off in the routine. We do see footage of this. Nia was a little off.
Yes.
That was kind of bad.
And Abby also gives her the specific point at which it was really obvious, which
it was when you were doing
actual
thing.
feedback. That is actual feedback.
And in the
you
middle,
have to be aware of your feet.
Yeah, you love to see actual feedback. In the middle,
Feedback. I don't know, man. I'm hungry.
The middle. Do you want a snack?
No.
The middle of the pyramid is Jade, and Abby says, "You were third. You're third."
Yeah.
And what she means is like you were third in the competition, you're third at the pyramid. But what she says is, "You were third. You're third." I'm like, all right.
True words have never been spoken.
I mean, period. I think. I don't know. Kendall's next, and she says Kendall did her part well, and she's like starting to realize what being the favorite is all about.
And then just like maybe you've been hanging out with Maddie enough or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like God just
damn.
so clearly saying the quiet part out loud,
Yeah.
and she has been for a while. We know, but it's just like it just feels.
She's not even
so...
trying to hide it, and
No.
she never really has. But like,
she's doing less hiding now. Before
Yeah.
she'd be like, I don't
less
have
than
favorites.
zero hiding.
I don't have favorites, and now she's like, I have a favorite. She's
It's
right
Maddie.
there.
Now that she's
You're
famous,
you're
she's
being
my favorite.
better because you're hanging out with my favorite, who's right there.
Who's right there? Her name is Maddie. Yeah.
I have it tattooed on my fucking chest, actually.
Yeah. And shockingly to no one, the top of the pyramid is Maddie.
Who?
And Abby says it's because she had to act. Huh?
And she's like,
Hey,
you're
what?
You're almost
What does
as
that
good
even
at
mean?
acting as you are at dancing.
When did she have to act last week?
I don't know.
The fuck is she talking about?
I don't know.
even?
Don't look
Like,
at me.
The
I don't know.
fuck? That's so. Just say you're on the top of the pyramid because you're my favorite. Like,
Yeah.
just say that part. Like,
Because I want to be you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm living vicariously through you, and so you're on the top of the pyramid because I want to be on the top of the pyramid.
Yes.
Yeah. This week we're going to Believe dance competition in DC.
Shout out to Patrick and Leah.
I did check to see it is not in their area, but I thought I wonder. No, it was not.
There would, yeah.
And it's also it does take place at a school, but not at a school where there's an affiliation in their house. So
Brutal.
I already checked it out.
I was talking with.
I was already a freak about this.
I was talking to one of the volunteers today.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned like we're sorting food, and there was some meat that they're like, oh, this is the kind of like meat I use for
Sure.
birria tacos.
Love.
And I was like, you said burrito tacos? There's this place in this neighborhood in DC
Where
that I
was
know
somewhere. Oh, fuck me sideways. I was talking to somebody about public transit the other day, and somebody made a comment about using an escalator to go to a subway station. And about how you're supposed to stand on the right side if you're just riding
Correct.
the escalator down. And I was like, if Eli were here, he'd be like, don't I fucking know? Like, I know. I've been to DC sometimes.
I'm an
Like,
escalator professional.
Escalator, hardly know her.
Hardly
You
know
know what
her.
I mean? Okay, anyway, we're going to Believe it is going to be in DC. Ava is doing a solo this week about rain. I hated this title. I can't
What,
describe
Drizzle?
it. Ugh.
Was this
I
written
don't
by
know.
Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, or like Usher or something.
No, he's the one that said faux drizzle or
I
whatever.
like that word. I think is just gross. I feel that way. I feel the way about drizzle that people feel about the word moist. Like that word sounds gross. I just don't. I'm not into it. I just put drizzle in parentheses hate.
What are you drizzling over there?
Fear and panic and anxiety and stress and sweat probably.
Sweat. There you go. Ugh.
Oh God. Shuddering like. Ugh. Let's see. Oh, Ava is going up against Maddie. Ava also, as
Crazy.
a side note, she was the eponymous character in the movie Tall Girl, and she's been an influencer. She was just recently featured in a documentary on Netflix about Piper Raquel that's called something stupid. It's like child influence or something. It's very good. But Ava's in it, and she does interviews about being a famous child and how difficult it was for her. But she's here. Also, I know you were live, laugh, loving this episode because your BFF Trumpy baddie is like featured mom this week. Jeanette, Ava's mom.
Listen,
She
can get it.
Yeah, hey, I'm not saying anything about who can or can't get it. I openly simp for a problematic king on this podcast. So I totally get it.
I was about to make it. I'll talk to you about this afterwards.
I'm so scared.
I don't know that I want it. See, every time that I tell you I have to tell you something, you're so scared.
Yes.
Every time.
Yes.
And not once have I told you something scary.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's always unwarranted. Jill asks like why it's not Kendall that's going up against Maddie. Hey Jill, maybe shut up actually.
Yeah, seriously.
And Abby says Kendall is secure for being Maddie's replacement, and now she needs another replacement, moving the goalpost again.
Well, Abby,
Whatever.
yeah, Jill just has this fucking line about Why Not Kendall, and Abby says, like, she literally just got a solo. She was the lead in the group. She did great in both. And so now basically, like, she's in the circle of trust. And
Yeah,
Jill
she's
just goes,
Okay.
okay. Like, that, got it.
Yeah,
That
all right.
shut me up, yes.
Yeah, okay. Abby says that she has a friend named Rachel Sage who's been following Maddie for a long time and wrote a song for her.
Hey.
Hey.
What?
I did a Google deep dive about this woman and about this song. We will get to it when we get to it. It's not nearly as creepy as Abby makes it sound.
Oh, okay.
Abby is straight up lying about a lot of this.
Okay, because that sounded very creepy.
We'll get to it. It is the way that she frames it. Hey, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not what really happened though. Christi in Talking Head is mad. Christi's on her nothing's fair shit this whole episode. And there's going to be 2 teams this week. There's going to be 2 group numbers. Jade is going to stay on the OG team. And then Abby counts them like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 over here.
Oh, huh.
To make
Those
it
are
even,
uneven.
Chloe, let me pluck you away from your sense of security and your loved ones and plop you onto this team of strangers.
I was so certain it was going to
makes Chloe
happen that
move.
way. So certain.
And Chloe in her Talking Head is like, at this point, it's just easier to not argue.
Yeah.
So sad for a child to be at that place.
Yeah,
Like, that's so sad.
she's been beaten into submission.
Yeah, it's awful. Grand. So let's see. We have... Oh, yeah, so Abby counts them out team by team. That's right. So Chloe moves to this new team, and the new group is doing a number that's called First Ladies, which for people, our international listeners, the First Lady is the wife of the president, because all of our presidents so far have been men. So the First Lady is the wife of the president. And she says she wants the number to be classy, wholesome, and then we get this very terribly edited comment of Abby saying, I think Chloe will fit that look. And it's just a voiceover footage of them rehearsing. And I'm sure it's ripped from when Abby's like, I'm going to have a solo of this like dark, demented bird thing who rips the throat off of her competitor. I think Chloe will really fit that look. And they rip that out and they put it here. And it's so Edward Scissorhands in the editing booth. It's crazy. It's a complete and total deviation. If she is saying that about Chloe in this like classy, wholesome number, totally different from every other time she's ever talked about how Chloe looks literally ever, because it's always been ooky spooky. So, but now she looks like a first lady. I'm confused. The elite team, the OG team, is doing a number called America Gone, Slay. Can I also tell you something so embarrassing? I did not, until we got to the competition, did not understand that they were doing America themed number because they were in DC. I did not get that. I was like, why are we doing 2 numbers about American things?
Do you want to know when
and then we got to DC and I was like, oh.
Do you want to know when I realized that?
Just now.
Just now.
Because I told you.
Just now.
Because she doesn't say, we're going to DC, and so we need to do numbers about our country. She just introduces them like every other number ever.
Which is so fucking funny, because do you remember when she did that for the Vegas competition?
Oh, yeah.
She's like, the 7 deadly
Infamously.
sins. No one else is doing that for sure,
Whatever,
Abby.
Girl. Abby tells the girls that these next few weeks are going to be important because she's thinking about nationals. And she's doing her thing where she says, sorry. Oh my God, I'm getting really bad acid reflux.
You know what would help? Eating dinner.
I'm trying to blow through this so that we can eat dinner.
Hell yeah.
Do you know, man, we're talking about practice. Man,
Yeah.
we're not talking about the game. We're talking about practice.
Not a game.
We're not talking about game. We're talking about practice.
Yeah, it's Allen Iverson.
And ESPN did a counter every time he said the word practice in the corner, after the fact. That's what someone needs to edit, a counter of every time you talk about how hungry you are. And then another counter where I offer you food and you reject it for the sake of being able to complain.
That's not why I'm rejecting it. I don't want snacks.
Because you hate feeling joy. That's right, I forgot.
No, I want to feel the most joy.
Ugh, God.
I don't want little drops of joy. I want...
Okay, enough. I
don't want a drizzle of joy, all right? That's a team name.
Ew. That can be your fantasy team.
Yeah.
Yeah, Abby tells him she's doing her thing about being where she's intentionally ambiguous, and she's saying, well, it could be that both teams are going to nationals. It could be that none of you bitches are going to nationals. Who's to say? Pretending
Abby.
like she's not the person who makes those decisions.
Right.
Pretending like she hasn't already picked it out, probably. The new moms and also Christi go upstairs, and the OG moms and Lori go outside. And the moms outside are just kind of chatting about how they feel about the switch up.
They feel bad for Chloe.
Yeah, Jill says it's obvious that Abby isn't taking. She's like, I don't think Abby's going to take all of the original kids. And Holly's like, well, I think Abby's just fucking with us this week. And Lori is like, I kind of feel bad. Like, they all feel strange. And Holly says there's no way that Abby's not going to take every child possible to nationals because that gives her the best chance.
Yeah.
To take 2 teams gives her a better chance. So obviously, she's going to take all of them.
She does note, though, that more kids at nationals means less chance of a solo for each of those kids.
That is also true. Yeah, specifically Nia.
Nia's not getting a solo, Holly. Like, let's not do that. Come on.
Justice for Nia. The new the new kids and Chloe are having their group rehearsal. We see some footage. And then the new moms and Christi are upstairs. And the new moms, like, kind of miss Lori. I love that Christi is sitting in her same spot in the Lido deck. She's like, no matter who these other hoes are down here, I'm going to sit right on the left end.
There's a Christie's ass-shaped dent in this couch.
Those risers, yeah.
I'm going to fill it.
Christi says that having Chloe isn't an... Oh, this is when Christi starts on her bullshit.
This is the bullshit.
I had to reread the sentence because it doesn't make any fucking sense. Christi says to the other moms, don't worry, having Chloe on your team's not a good thing because Abby hates my kid. Hey, that's such an insult to your child.
Yes.
Even though you're framing, I understand the framing, I understand what you're saying, and I disagree with you saying it. I get it, I agree with that opinion, but don't say that shit out loud. That's crazy to be like, well, don't worry, guys, my child means that the group performance will be skewed in the negative because Abby hates us. She's going to bust the curve, basically.
Also, like, I've never understood intentionally bringing negativity into a situation. Yeah. It never helps. It does not. All the other moms are like getting along, like this is exciting. Our kids are gonna dance, well, and she's like, just so you know, you're gonna fucking lose.
Just so you know, fuck your kids. And it's like, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
We go to a commercial, and when we come back, all the moms are out in the parking lot, and
they're gonna fight like it's West Side Story.
I literally have Jets versus Sharks style. Like, what's going on?
Hell yeah!
And they're arguing about like who's gonna stand where, and it's like very awkward. And the new moms are pissed that Lori didn't fight harder to stay on their team, and then Lori calls all the other moms fake, which made me giggle.
Yeah, Tammy in her talking head says if I were in her position, I would have stayed with the new team. We've won every time. Like, oh yeah, totally you would have, Tammy. You liar.
Also foreshadowing, yeah, for real. Yeah, Lori says she likes both teams. She's friends with both teams. And Melissa goes, yeah, but she likes us better.
Yeah, like
Melissa,
clearly joking.
up.
She was very clearly joking.
Melissa, but she said it like,
you know,
yeah, but she likes us better.
You know I'm not a Melissa defender, but that was clearly in jest. And it clearly was like cut off afterwards because like I think people probably laughed.
Melissa is so bulletproof on this show. She can just do whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah. Well,
and so she just dicks around sometimes. Like, Melissa, shut up, girl.
Well, yeah, she makes up for it by having Abby's boots halfway down her throat.
Ugh, yeah, by standing by her Abby's mom as she passes away. Yeah. Holly says, I knew this would happen when Abby pulled people off of your team. Like, you were going to fracture. And she was like, I said this. Like, it's all fun and games until Abby starts to, like, intentionally separate y'all. And then you will, like, turn on each other Lord of the Flies style.
Immediately.
Yeah. And the old moms go in, and Chrissy's like, I'm going to go in with my friends. And she says, like...
not to be a spy.
No, she's not to be a spy. And you guys didn't really say anything all that interesting anyway. So I'm going to go sit with my friends. We get a wide shot of these two, like, teams. And one of the moms is wearing... this probably won't mean anything to you, but it made me really happy. One of the moms is wearing, like, a flowy dress shirt and then, like, dress shorts and, like, pleaser heels that are insanely tall. And another mom is wearing a chevron pattern shirt. And I was like, this is so 2014, and it's awesome. And I miss 2014 so bad. Hell
yeah. It was, though, at this point... that, like, Christy made her one shitty comment in the Lido deck earlier, but at this point she says plus you guys don't say anything interesting anyway. It's like, at this point I'm like, I think she's really just like trying to be an asshole.
I think so too.
I don't know if she's trying to get kicked off the show or the producers got to her, but one of those things is definitely the case at least.
For sure. We're seeing the OG team's rehearsal, and Abby in her talking head is talking about America Gone, and she says, America has always been the country where you can do anything with a good work ethic and that kids these days don't work hard enough.
Yeah, with hard work and determination,
we don't even have enough time to, like, really get into the, like, how incredibly inaccurate that statement is.
Right.
But that is the opposite of the truth, just in so many ways. That's just a lie.
Yeah. We are not a meritocracy.
No, and we never it's ridiculous. Someone makes a comment about, like, Abby having a good attitude, and Christy pipes up again to say, oh, she's in a good mood because Chloe's not on the team this week. Christi, you're pissing me off, girl.
Yeah, again.
Shut up.
Stop.
Abby, at this point, she brings in Rachel Sage. It is interesting to note that Rachel spells her name Rachel.
Oh.
Hey, that's annoying. Sorry if that's how you spell your name, but it's not your fault, but that is annoying.
That honestly might be. I think that was like that was the original like Israeli spelling, I believe.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
You're being an anti-Semite.
No,
How about that?
I take it back. Take it back. Whatever. Abby, her talking head, says that they've been friends for a really long time and that she's a professional singer-songwriter.
Really?
Rachel says that, like, so let me back up. All of the moms and the girls are, like, in a circle. Rachel and Abby are, like, on one side, and everybody else has, like, formed this, like, story time circle around them. And Rachel says to Maddie in front of everyone else that she's a genius, and she has an innate genius, and that she inspires her. She thanks Maddie for inspiring her, and Rachel plays this song that she's written for Maddie, sings it and plays guitar in the moment, and Maddie does her solo.
The song sucks, by the way.
The song sucks shit from a butt, and I did a Google deep dive because I thought there is no fucking way this is real, and it's not. So,
God damn it.
When she was singing, I thought to myself, I have heard this woman's voice on this fuck-ass television program many a time before. As someone who watches all the dances, I have heard her songs over the Abbey Lee Dance Company dancers' dances many times.
Okay.
So what happened? So Lori thinks it's cool. Christi rolls her eyes. Whatever. Rachel on her website mentions she wrote this song 2 years before she met Maddie. So she didn't write the song for Maddie. It is still gross. It's still a bad song.
Well,
but she didn't write it for Maddie.
That almost makes it doesn't make it
when
worse.
When I say gross, I mean it's a bad song.
It's bad for a different reason. Well, she also just like lied to a 10 or how old's Maddie? 11 now? However old she is.
10 or
she just
11,
lied to a kid, and Maddie was like genuinely like, "Oh my gosh, that's so amazing!"
And Abby told the same lie.
Yeah.
And her record label's website, so Rachel owns her own record label.
Good for her.
Her record label and her personal website look, hear me out, the exact same. But her record label's website says that there have been at least 8 of her songs on Dance Moms before.
Good
so
Lord.
This idea that she saw Maddie and wrote a song about her is just like not true. Jill,
so stupid.
It's so
what
stupid
dumb,
for fucking what?
You don't need that plot point.
No,
that's
she just
so
did.
weird.
It's literally just to make sure that Abby wants Maddie to understand that she's just as cool as Sia, basically.
Without
the Sia thing, I don't think this would have happened. She's like, I have friends that write songs too. I have friends that think you're cool too. Don't forget, I'm just like Sia, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I see.
Whatever.
I see,
Annoying.
What did she say when she leaves a place?
See you later. Litigator.
What a callback.
Whatever.
Comedy genius over here.
Whatever.
Amanda Baugh, everyone.
I didn't make that joke, you did. That's why it was so stupid. You said see you later, litigator. Jill asked Melissa, what?
Hello?
Jill asks Melissa if she, understands that Ava is no contest against Maddie. She's like, Ava's not really in competition. And Christi in her talking head says that Melissa is, acting really coy about, oh, no, I'm glad Ava's here. I think it's going to be, a fair competition because she can't admit that everything is set up for Maddie to be successful.
Right. She's like, no, I think anyone can. And she stumbles through those lines saying,
I
think
don't think that,
anyone can win. No, you don't, Melissa.
No, you
You're
don't.
an awful liar.
Melissa, shut up.
She might be the worst liar I've ever seen.
Oh, for sure. For sure. We see Ava doing her solo rehearsal. She has an umbrella prop. This is going to be big news later on. Lori goes up... What?
Before we see Ava's solo, they're up in the Lido deck, and Christi, let's see, the moms ask Christi about Chloe being on the other team, and Christi's like, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. There's not really any use in complaining.
Yeah.
And Jill is like, you're a good sport. And then Christi's like, what could I even do? Airing more frustration. Jill's like, you're a good sport, Christi. You're really being it's like Christi wants to be built up so she can scream and complain about something, and Jill's like, you're being a good sport, almost
enough.
And that's where you should stay is right there.
And I'm glad you're not complaining and being annoying.
Yes.
I'm glad you're not doing that.
Yes. Anyway, the umbrella prop.
Yes. Lori goes upstairs to see the new moms, and she asks them to go to lunch. And Christi says that she is not going to go. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah, makes a very loud, like, I'm going to bow out, actually.
Just in case anyone was wondering, I'm not going. Okay, sick.
Like, hey,
Shut
we
up.
weren't, actually.
Lori says that she just really wants to talk to them. She's like, things are weird. They don't need to be weird. Let's just go to lunch. Hey, hear me out. A very mature thing to do.
I agree.
Things are weird. Talk about them.
I agree.
And then Jeanette says that she's...
And taking people out to lunch, great move.
Baller move, for sure. Jeanette says that she's excited that Ava's doing so well, and Christi says that you need to make it clear to Ava, very clear to her, that her very best is not good enough, and she is going to lose.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, you need to tell your daughter to not get her hopes up. She will lose.
That's
because Maddie's doing
insane.
a solo.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
So mean.
Christi,
just
you've
good old-fashioned mean girl behavior.
Christi, you've officially lost your fucking mind.
Yeah. Jeanette in her talking heads calls Christi bitter.
Yup.
And she says that she's just not buying that she's set up to fail. She's like, I'm not going to listen to this. I need to go into this like solo with a better attitude. I'm not going to buy into this idea that she's being set up to fail.
And so does
Fair
Ava.
enough.
Yes.
Totally fair enough.
Correct.
And then they like kind of talk about the umbrella prop because they're nervous because it is like a cumbersome prop, and then also there's like it's not like the best constructed. It's like probably they found it in the closet somewhere, and Ava opens it and it barely touches her in the eye, and Christi goes, "Oh my god, she pokes her eye out. She's injured. She poked her eye out." And then we go to a commercial.
Yeah.
She is not. It's really not that serious. When we come back from the commercial, the new moms with Lori go to lunch, and surprise, surprise, Jill and Melissa are also there.
Why, though? Why?
If I were one of the new moms and Lori pulled some shit like this and I saw those two fuck-ass idiots, I would walk out. I'm being so serious. I'd be like, hey, if you want to work this out, we're doing 1v1 on the court. I'm not doing all this group thing, and then also your two new baddies. No, goodbye. You can see me on the basketball court.
That's when you
later.
cut to Jeanette just crossing Lori out of her shoes.
Yes, her knees are on the ground.
Dunking
yeah,
on her.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So well, do you think if she shot the basketball, she would say that went right into the Jeanette?
Oh, nothing but Jeanette. That's kind of funny, actually. If she was a basketball player, had like a podcast.
Thank you.
That'd be kind of funny. Nothing but Jeanette. Let's see.
What a specific scenario.
Lori in her talking head says that she wants to explain that just wants to explain her MO more than anything else.
Well, really, she's also she's like, I'm going to convince them that they would have done the same thing if they were in my shoes.
Yeah.
Which is correct.
Which is true, as we will see.
That's not a great thing to try and convince people of, though.
Yeah.
But she's right.
Yeah, that's true. It's also very difficult to prove until the tables turn.
Until later in this episode.
Yeah. Melissa says in her talking that everyone wants a piece of the original team, lol. And then it's over. And then Jill, Melissa, and Lori get up and leave.
Yeah.
And leave all the new moms there.
Yeah.
It is so weird. Also, the restaurant they go to looks like, a place you would stop if you were on like hour 13 of a road trip and just needed a glass of water.
It looks like a shitty school cafeteria.
It also looks like, not to speak ill of the dead, it looks like Shoney's a little bit.
Yeah.
And that Shoney's in Franklin, that Shoney's on 96. I used to fuck up that Shoney's with my sister all the time. Me, my sister Neely, and my dad would go there whenever my mom was at home because my dad, bless him, doesn't know how to cook. And so he'd just be like, all right, here we go. We're going to Shoney's. Because I lived in, not to dox myself, I don't live there anymore, but I used to live in Liberty Hills.
Yeah.
And so we could almost walk to that Shoney's. And I would get a stupid amount of French toast sticks.
Absolutely.
And just in that hot vat of syrup. Bruh, I want to be buried in one of those vats of syrup. It was from Shoney's specifically. Shoney's, I miss you, girl.
Like, there were
home, the kids miss you.
2 years when I was much younger that we went there for like their Thanksgiving buffet. Yeah. Dude.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome.
3 plates of Shoney's buffet. You bet your ass. That mac and cheese could get it.
Dude. Shoney's, I miss you, girl. One of the most unhygienic, chain.
There's a reason it's bankrupt.
If you don't know what Shoney's is, if you know what Golden Corral is, it's almost the same thing.
It is a southern style buffet place where the wait
not
staff
around anymore.
The wait staff all looks like they want to kill you. Yeah. And it's great. It was great. Pour one out for a real one.
The one in Franklin is now a whiskey tasting place.
Oh, who gives a shit?
I'm like, is nothing sacred anymore?
No.
That's the bones of a Shoney's. Let it rest in peace.
The bonies. Shoney's nuts.
I'm gonna kill you. This is hey guys.
What do you work at Shoney's?
Hey guys, this is Eli's last day alive.
Yeah, the thumbnail for this episode is actually gonna be her stabbing me in the fucking head.
No, I would strangle you.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't want your blood on my hands. Gross.
I'm gonna
Not
intentionally
on my
bleed
nice,
on you.
like white couches.
I'm gonna
No
drizzle
way.
blood everywhere.
Oh God! Ew! Me at the beginning of this episode being like, I listened to a book about serial killers, and then being like, ew, blood.
I'm a serial killer, actually.
I know you serial kill Cinnamon Toast Crunch, huh?
I kill. Yeah. Well, you could have said that better.
No. No, I couldn't have. I said it the way that I said it. The fuck? What do you mean? The weird lunch is over. We get this like first ladies like group number first, which is the new people and Chloe, the first ladies rehearsal. It's whatever. It's fine. And then we see the other group, the original group plus Jade, and it's also fine. And Abby, why am I burping so much? Abby and her talking head.
She says as she's sitting next to a can of Diet Coke.
I know, but I'm burping a lot today.
You always burp a lot.
That's true. Talking about how the original team has lost twice to the new kids. Abby's talking about this. And Christi talks about how the choreo for the original group is so good. And she says that it's because Chloe's not in the group. And
Yeah, totally, Christi.
Christi, you're being a whiny baby. You
I
need
said
to shut up.
in my notes, I said, Christi, give it a fucking rest.
Yeah.
I had
Put
to
a
type
torque in it, Christi.
I
Enough.
had to type it out.
Enough.
I had to.
We see Maddie's solo
Well,
rehearsal.
Jill then asks Christi about the other moms, and like they're moms with an agenda. And Christi says, "I could sit, forgive me, but she says I could sit with you bitches. I could sit with those bitches." Like, all right.
I'm like, okay, Christi.
She's like, "Yeah, they're just like you guys. They're moms with an agenda," which
Christi, shut up.
okay.
Shut up.
That's a read.
True.
It is correct.
Clock it.
But
also
now's not the time.
shut up. Yeah.
Now's not the time.
Okay, then we see Maddie's solo rehearsal, and Abby's talking about, she's saying to Maddie, I need more passion, I need more storytelling. Hey, I thought she was going to win an Oscar tomorrow.
Yeah.
I thought the reason why she was on the top of the pyramid was because she was acting House Down.
She's
but
an actor.
I guess not. And then Abby says that she's worried about Ava, and we see the solo rehearsal again. We see the umbrella. Jeanette is also worried about it, and the umbrella breaks while she's rehearsing. Like, one of the spokes in it breaks, and Christi says to Jeanette, so you know that you're not winning, right? Again, she says it again.
And Jeanette, yeah, because she knows she's wearing her down, and Jeanette, like, looks visibly flustered. And Christi keeps feeding into that, and she's like, you should go talk to Abby. There's nothing to lose, especially since she's not going to win.
And Jeanette's like, okay, fuck you. I'll just go do it right now.
Yeah, which Christi, like, first of all, Jeanette, have some more self-respect.
Yeah, stand your ground,
Don't
bitch.
let yourself get manipulated.
No, I would be like, all right, I'll go do it, and then I would go sit in the bathroom for 20 minutes.
Or just say, hey, why don't you shut the fuck up? Or do you ever, hey, Christi,
Yeah,
do you ever,
hey, shut up.
do you ever ask yourself why you're not the favorite?
Have you ever
Do you
thought...
think that maybe it's because of the everything you're doing right now?
Yeah. Yeah, totally fair. But she does go downstairs, and she talks to Abby, and she asks Abby why she's not taking the umbrella out of the dance since it's obviously not working. And then Jeanette says, well, as a parent and also as a dance teacher, no. With peace and love, no.
Stop it.
Didn't know that she was a dance teacher. And also, is that like a prerequisite for having your kid be on Abby's team? Because Lori's also
like
a dance teacher.
so
Gloria
many.
was also a dance teacher.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Kathy was also a dance teacher.
Well,
I love
she's a
Kathy.
dance studio owner.
I love Kathy. I think she one time describes herself as the creative director, which is
Yes,
true. That's
that
fair.
is more correct.
I love Kathy. Abby says that she is questioning Jeanette's training. Like, oh, if you think that that's a good idea, I'm kind of questioning your training. And then Abby and her talking, it says that Jeanette is more irritating than any of the other moms because she claims to be a dance teacher. Like, so what about the time that Gloria did it, that Lori did it, that Kathy did it? Okay.
Yeah.
And then Gianna is also kind of fed up with it. She's in the room with
Clearly.
Ava and Jeanette and Abby, and she says, all right, so the solo is about an umbrella and rain. The umbrella and the solo come as a package deal.
It's about a drizzle, actually.
I'm like, that's fair. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Gianna.
Then, like, they start getting in this weird argument where Abby says, like, the umbrella's not going anywhere, and her arms are long and weird, like a praying mantis, and Abby starts kind of like...
Her arms are horrendous.
She, like, starts kind of, like, flapping like this. That made me laugh a lot.
Funny.
That was clearly, like, for the show where Abby's like, I'm just going to go crazy. Like,
it was for Gianna, because her bestie's in the room,
that's
too.
true.
So she's,
Gianna,
like, being a
dude,
an
I
idiot.
would have lost my mind if I were Gia right there. That was so funny.
I'm sure she did laugh, and they had to cut it out.
Yeah.
We
Commercial.
Go to a commercial and we come back, and when we come back, we're at the competition. The screaming fans outside. This is where I say, oh, they're doing America stuff because they're in DC. Got it.
Makes sense.
All the girls are getting ready together in the same room. Did you see what room they're in?
The green room.
The band room.
Oh!
Maddie's literally putting on makeup next to a gong on a stand. They're in the band.
Was it a gong or was it a tam-tam?
No, it was a gong. And they have the staff like on the...
oh, I didn't even see.
Yeah, they were in the band room.
Hell yeah.
I said all the girls are in the band room getting ready, in parentheses, slay. Abby says that the song was created for her by Rachel Sage. Not true. And then in her talking head says that Jana's on her last nerve. The girls are trying on their costumes. It's like very normal getting ready shit in the green room.
A little bit of tension, but nothing too wild.
We get to the performances. Maddie's solo goes first. I said, if this song was written for me, I would stop speaking to the songwriter immediately.
Yeah.
The song is so bad.
It's bad?
So bad. Also, most of it is humming and also not real words. So I inspired you to do what exactly? Hum?
Who was the one, who did the freestyle rap where she didn't say actual words for a while?
Jessie J, maybe? Or Iggy Azalea?
I think it was Iggy Azalea.
Oh, don't speak poorly of Iggy.
No, not the good Iggy.
The weird Iggy?
Yeah.
Well, they're both weird.
I saw these
tie
two
your marks.
Yeah, like...
That's Iggy Azalea.
What is she doing?
I don't know. Tweaking out, probably.
I think she just lost it,
doing her
but
thing.
Could not stop herself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Iggy Azalea.
Oh, my God.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That is one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen in my life.
Have you seen Fergie do the national anthem?
That was really bad, too.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
Maddie does great. Melissa says Rachel would be proud. Great.
What, just like she's dead?
Yeah, I'm like, she's like, we just saw her. Abby says that Jeanette hasn't developed her child's arms, like, as a dance teacher, I guess.
Insane.
Which is an
what
insane
a crazy
thing to say.
sentence.
And Ava goes next, and while Ava is like, she's holding the umbrella, it's open. It has been deployed. As she is spinning, the umbrella inverts. It goes like, boom, like saw this in a storm.
As I was skipping through the dance, I was like, whoa, wait.
But it happens right at the end, and she does her little flourish, and she puts it down. She never skips a beat. It does not affect her at all. It's really not that serious. And Jeanette in her talking head says that that's how you know that Ava is a professional, is because it didn't affect her and it didn't bother her, and she kept it pushing, which is true. And if it were Maddie, that would be a good thing that she was able to keep
this would be this would be an opportunity for a compliment.
Right. We're in the green room, and Melissa says that that Ava is a trooper. You did great, whatever.
She was a pro. She was unfazed.
Yeah. And Christi says that Jan should confront Abby because of reasons.
It was so funny because, like, she just got done saying, like, she was such a pro. She was unfazed. She was great. And then Christi goes, hey, aren't you annoyed that you said the umbrella was a problem early on and now it's a problem again?
And she didn't listen to you, and you should be pissed.
Yeah. You should confront Abby. God.
And then Abby comes in and she starts immediately screaming at Jeanette. Like, immediately.
Well, Jill in her talking head also says, like, Christi is, like, the one person who definitely knows that confronting Abby is a terrible idea.
It's never worked out for her, literally ever.
Yeah, Jill, she's not acting in good faith right now. That's the thing.
Right.
Jill's like, why would she say that to her? She knows it's not a good idea. Jill.
That's the point, Jill.
Connect the final puzzle piece.
Yeah. And then, Jeanette and Abby are going back and forth. Jeanette says that the fact that she wasn't phased is a sign that she's a pro. Abby says it's a sign that she can't open an umbrella.
Which is funny.
Oh, there was something I was going to tell you and I forgot. We were talking about getting your title and stuff for your car.
Oh.
Rachel got pulled over a couple weeks ago. And I don't remember what she initially got pulled over for. But in the, getting pulled over, the cop who pulled her over checked her license plate, and her tags have been out of date for 2 years. I did that once. I tell you that. But the cop, I think actually that might have been why she got pulled over. But the cop rolls down her window, or she rolls her window down. The cop is like, "Hey, your tags have been out of date for 2 years. You need to pay your wheel tax." And she was like, "Well, he asked her, why haven't you done this yet?" And she was like, "Well, it's just been a really busy 2 years," and she gives him an answer that's
nothing.
Please just leave me alone. Let me pay my ticket and be on with my day, and I'll get my tags renewed. And the cop said, you've been so busy for 2 years you couldn't pay your wheel tax. And Rachel didn't say this, but she said, I was this close to being like, why didn't you pull me over for it for 2 years?
Yeah.
Like, you had 2 years to pull me over, and you didn't.
That's
I was
funny.
like, I'm glad you didn't say that because that would not have worked out well for you.
Yeah, you have a fucking knee in your back.
But it is, it's pretty funny.
I made it for a while, and the guy didn't ask me why I hadn't gotten it done. But in my mind, it was like my tax expired like March of 2020.
Okay.
COVID.
Right.
Everything shut down.
House.
I was not thinking of it. I was not driving for the next year.
Thinking about a couple of other things.
Well, yeah, I was not driving for the next like year and a half, and I think they actually put a moratorium on that kind of thing. Like they weren't pulling people over for that. But anyway, so after the year and a half, I was like, oh, my tags are still not renewed. I kind of want to see how long I can take this. I made it like 3 total years. I got pulled over. I paid the fine. It was whatever.
Yeah.
But I saved money actually. Because, like, instead of registering my car for 3 years, I just had to get it registered then, and we're good.
If I don't do shit like that, not to be the most annoying person you've ever met in your life, but one of my parents is also an attorney. My father, specifically.
My little brother's an attorney.
And if I don't do that kind of shit, my dad is up my ass about he will literally tell me, like, if we have family dinner or whatever, sometimes we'll eat outside, and he'll be like, oh, your tags expire next month. Like, not they're expired, but they're about to expire. And I'm like, all right, good to know. And then he'll be like, hey, your tags are going to expire at the end of the month. I'll be like, all right. And then if I let it go a month, he's like, you should probably... I'm like, hey, Dad, got it. Thank you so much. Got it.
Sir.
I'm good. I'm totally good. Really, I comply with that stuff because of the anxiety of my father.
It's
to
your
get
dad.
him to leave me alone.
It's not the law.
No, it's my dad. Okay, anyway. Ava starts crying. She is, like, kind of unwell because her dance teacher and her mom are screaming at each other. And she is, like, sitting, like, not in her mom's lap, but her mom is sitting,
she's, like,
and
on
she's,
her
like,
leg.
on her knee a little bit. Her mom is comforting her. Abby says, I'm sorry, I have to do this.
Oh.
Walks across, pulls Ava off her mom's lap, and says, stop crying. Grow up.
Grow up. Stop crying.
And she does. She just, you can see it in the moment. You can see that child's psyche fracture live in living color on your television in front of a live studio audience. She's like, yep, and she stops crying. And it's awful. Like, my heart breaks.
Yeah.
And Abby says, if you don't stop crying, you're not going to do the group number.
And she smile, be happy. And Holly looks legitimately shocked.
Yeah.
Like, Holly, how are you still surprised at
Yeah,
anything?
her doctorate in education is, like, withering away in the
She
distance.
was shocked-er-it.
All right.
Can we cut that out?
No, absolutely not. We go to a commercial, and then we come back. We're in the green room getting ready for the groups, and Jill in her talking head says that she's nervous because, you know, the new group keeps beating the original group, whatever. And Abby says this week specifically she wants to make sure that the killing is even. She's like, I want to make sure that both of them have equal or comparable numbers so that I can judge them fairly, as opposed to what, every other week ever?
Yeah,
That's
again, telling
annoying,
on yourself
but
that you
whatever.
stack the deck every other week, Abby.
Yeah, it's like when someone has to really convince you that they're not lying. Like, I
Yeah.
wasn't doubting
Can I
if
be
you were
honest for a
lying.
second? Were you not before?
You get on my ass for saying that all the time. When I say, can I tell you something? And you go, you asking me if you can tell me something could have just been you telling me the thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Look
like,
how
yeah,
much
that's
time
fair.
we wasted. It's the I'm not gonna lie, but XYZ sentence. Like, why would you?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And then she says to the girls the same, like, intentionally ambiguous thing about who's gonna go to nationals. Christi in her talking head says it's the most important number that Chloe maybe has ever done. If it doesn't go well, Chloe's gonna get blamed, blah, blah, blah. The new group plus Chloe goes, and they do great. And Jill in her talking head is, like, kind of shook.
She's like, after all of Christy's complaining, I thought the group would come out and do like a couple of turns and that would be it. They did great. Then she kind of catches herself and says, but ours is going to be better. Okay, Jill.
All right, whatever. The OG group and Jade go, and they do a song to a minor key version of My Country 'Tis of Thee, Slay. And Abby in her talking head is like, it's going to be a really tight race because no one messed up and whatever. And we cut to commercial and we come back and we get the awards. So Ava, her solo gets 3rd place. And Jeanette in her talking head says that she always gets first when she dances at her mom's studio. And Maddie gets 1st place with her solo.
I mean, obviously.
Fucking duh. Then we get to the group numbers, and the guy who's announcing them says that it is separated by 1/10 of a point. second and first place is separated by 1/10 of a point. And the original team gets second, and everyone is shocked.
Yeah.
And the new team and Chloe get first.
Legitimately
They're
shock
all like,
on everyone's face.
Wait, what?
And then the new team with Chloe wins. Chloe shoots up
She's like
off that
getting
stage.
the award, like
yeah. Hey, Abby.
holds up a sign that says "You bitches are mad."
Hey, Abby, I got 2 of these for you.
Yeah. And Holly and her talking head is like, this is so frustrating. Like, I don't understand the purpose of this. It's happening week after week. This is so annoying. Whatever.
She says things are not looking good.
Thank you, Dr. Obvious. Dr. What? Come on.
Holly.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Abby, so the moms and Abby are back in the green room. Abby's like, I disagree with the judges. And Christy's like, of course you fucking do, because
you hate
to see Chloe win.
Yeah, you can't let Chloe have anything nice.
And then Abby tells Ava that it's like, things aren't looking good for you. And then Abby looks at Tia and says, Tia, do you want to stay?
Tammy. Oh, yes, you're right.
And Tia goes, yes, ma'am, I would. And then Abby looks at Tammy and says, be in the studio with Tia, like, tomorrow or something.
Lori looks right fucking at her and says, I thought
because Tammy's
never
like, sounds good. She's like, I absolutely will. And Lori's like, are you shitting me? You just said you wouldn't do this, and you're doing it now.
Yeah.
And Tammy's like, well, all of us thought that, you were lying, and that, and she tries to deflect, and it, like, doesn't really work out, obviously.
That's Lori's like, this is what I was saying. We can all like each other, but still acknowledge that, like, yeah, we're going to take an opportunity to move up if we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that's wrong. Like,
no, I don't either.
That'd be like
it is annoying.
Me and my best year coworkers, and I don't take a promotion just so that I don't, like...
The fuck no.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
it's
that
so
doesn't make
dumb.
any sense.
If you're one of those people that would hate on a friend for taking a promotion, you're a fucking hater and you're not actually their friend.
Yeah, you gotta you should want to see the people that you care about succeed, period.
Yes, and if you don't, you're a hater.
Yeah. And then Abby does some bullshit grandstanding about, nationals, and I'm deciding who's going, and I don't know, and blah, blah, blah.
Jeanette in her talking head says, I'm done listening to Christi. Like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, you should have been done listening to Christi at the beginning, but whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
The end for this fuck-ass episode.
Yep.
Do you have any other thoughts about it?
I don't have any other thoughts other than how hungry I am.
That's fair. What's your song of the week, my brother in Christ?
Everybody Talks by the Neon Trees.
That's a great song. I saw them open for
It's a very
Maroon
fun
5.
song.
Or no, I saw them open for Owl City, who opened for Maroon 5. It was really good.
I think I'd be the least excited to see Maroon 5, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It was in 2014. I was a freshman in high school. Went to see it with my friends. It was awesome. Adam Levine was hot at the time.
Sure.
It was good. Do you have any... You would talk about your song at all, or no?
I have no reason other than, like, it is a fun song to listen to.
Nice.
We're back here.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do you got?
My song of the week is a song called A Girl, a Woman by Windshield featuring After. Sorry, that was really gross sound.
I typed in a girl, and A Girl Worth Fighting For came up first.
From Mulan?
Yeah.
Of course you were. A Girl, a Woman by Windshield featuring After.
Got it.
I heard this song in the background of a person I follow on the internet's TikTok, and I went sicko mode on the internet trying to hunt it down.
Hell yeah.
And it was really difficult because she's talking over the song. It's an a cappella song. If you were a person who was into the song I Am Woman by Emily, whatever the fuck her last name is, but then that song got overplayed and also it's incredibly cheesy, but you like the sentiment of a song being about the growth of women, you have got to listen to the song. It's a cappella. It's beautiful. It is... I have not felt this way about a song in a long time, seriously. Like, I can't stop listening to it. I can't stop singing it. I think about the lyrics all the time. It's like literal poetry about, I don't feel like a girl, but I don't feel like a woman. I'm in between.
I think Britney Spears...
What?
I'm not a girl, not yet a woman.
Once again, grew up fundamentalist Christian, was not allowed to listen to Britney Spears, so I don't fucking know.
Wow.
But...
An icon.
It is so good. It is so good. I fucking love A Girl, a Woman by Windshield. Please listen. Right into me. I love that song.
I'm going to also add...
Do it.
The Britney Spears song to the playlist.
That's Rachel's song of the week. The Britney Spears one. Oh, well, I also... Oh, wait. I was born in 1997. I was only 1 year old. So.
Damn. I'll tell you in a second. Hang on.
write us an email if you feel so compelled. The person who wrote into the email and you attach pictures of you at a fashion show, bitch, I will read that next week, I promise. But we're running over time, and Mr. Man over here is very hungry.
Mr. Man.
And, write us an email. Our email is thepyramidpodcast@gmail.com. I'm not Amanda B _ on Instagram. He's at Eli _ farmer _ Our podcast Instagram is at the Pyramid Pod. Yeah. Tell us your opinions, your thoughts, your feelings, your pyramids of life, songs of the week, pictures of your dogs, your physical dog, not your feet. That kind of thing. The end. If you send me a picture of your feet, I will throw you the block.
Yeah, don't do that.
I will throw you the block instantaneously.
That's so funny.
If I see them toes, block Tina. You know what I mean?
Good night, Alyssa.
Good night, Alyssa. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye! In a minute, I'm gonna need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up.
Are you done?
Yeah, because I don't know the rest of the words. She says something about my Balenciaga or
Feeling
whatever.
fussy in my Balenciagas. Yeah. Trying to keep up the fabulous.
Fabulous.
Because I give a fuck way too much. I'm gonna need about 2 shots in my cup. Yeah. Wanna get out.
Wanna get down. That's how I feel right now.
Okay, shut up. Shut up. We have to focus. Okay.